Alright guys, welcome back. We are up on vacation and we are just taking a bike ride right now. Decided to stop and make an update video for you. We've been up here for a little over a week now and we've been doing something different this year, and that is 2 days of eating, 1 day of fasting, and we've generally done about 40 hours. So we've gone about until noon of the next day until we start eating again. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what we've been eating up here, what we've been drinking, a new drink that Justin here brought to our attention, and that is Soleil, and we'll talk about that here quickly. Also, we're going to talk about a little bit of an update on my mom's condition here with her inflammation and her rheumatoid conditions. And yeah, so let's just first off get into how has the 2 days on of eating and 1 day of fasting been going for you guys?
It seems to be going pretty good. I've made it through each day, no problem. I mean, by that 40th hour, I'm ready to eat some fruit, but it's been kind of, it lightens the body. I mean, you do feel pretty good after abstaining from eating for a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is that, I mean, how does that compare to what you do at home? Do you do a lot of fasting at home?
I haven't. This is the most I've done in a period of a week's time, but Justin's done more than I in that area. I'm just starting to get into that a little bit and realizing how important it is to let the body's digestive system rest, and it's a better feeling. I mean, years ago I always used to say to myself, "Gal, I feel so much better if I don't eat," and the minute I eat, you know, and that was the start of my inflammation way back in the day.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, I see that. I didn't realize it at the time, but it's been good. How about you?
I feel the same. It's getting easier the longer we go, it seems. I'm getting used to not eating so much now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely a lighter feeling, like she said.
Yeah, and I feel the same way too, and you've really inspired me to get more into fasting, especially water fasting, because I personally have done more like fruit fasting and juice fasting. Haven't gotten a whole lot into water fasting, but just doing the 2 days on, 1 day off, that might not be ideal for everybody out there to start with, but you know, if you've been on a pretty clean diet and you've been used to eating a little, you know, less than the average person, you know, doing like one day a week, I think, you know, I used to do like every Sunday, but the every 2 days of eating, 1 day of fasting, I've really enjoyed it. It's really made me feel good, and it's so much easier than doing like a long extended fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's good for, I think, people trying to transition more into a fasting type of lifestyle.
Right. I don't think you have to, with a longer fast, consecutive days in a row, you really have to plan to be more sedentary, and
Yeah.
you know, so you're up here on vacation, you don't want to be inactive for the most part, but so I think if you did a longer fasting, you would want to be in a more quiet, although the atmosphere here is great for that, but when you're on vacation with the family, you don't want to be secluded in your bedroom just laying and resting.
Yeah, and we've been doing a lot of physical activity. You know, we're on a bike ride right now. We've been doing a lot of you know, labor out in the yard,
Right.
doing some heavy digging and things like that. Just running around, you know, playing games. So what have we kind of been eating up here?
We've really eaten pretty clean. Justin and I have had 1 or 2 meals of semi-cooked or cooked meals, black bean burgers that we prepared ourselves, so everything was clean in it, but of course they were heated. But for the most part, we've been pretty much fresh and raw.
Yeah.
A lot of smoothies with some herbs and greens and clean eating.
Yeah. And so the day that we start eating after our day of fasting, we've been sure to break it with watermelon and cantaloupe. So we're keeping it still high water content. Justin, I know that you're more experienced with water fasting. How does this compare to what you normally do?
Well, there's a whole different intent, I feel, behind this type of fasting. Water, like extended water fasting, you're really looking to detox your body from past eating habits and past emotional experiences. This is more of a body freeing, body lightening, resting, just for your digestion. Not really a detoxing, it's more of a rest. Yeah.
Right. And we've been doing like teas, like ginger lemon tea.
Yep. Herbal teas.
Hibiscus tea.
Yep.
Yeah.
So hydrating a lot. Hydrating is very important in any kind of fasting.
Right.
You know, if you're not eating clean and you try to fast, you're already dehydrated. So that's going to be pretty hard on a person to even do a 1 day a week if you aren't adjusting your diet to be cleaner, and don't attempt to fast if you're right off of the American SAD diet, because you're gonna have adverse outcomes.
Yeah.
Well, we've been really clean and implementing our lifestyle for several years to where it's not going to be as hard on our bodies as it would be on the average person.
Right. And I think the fasting on teas and other liquids, not just solely water, is good for transitioning into water fasting if that's what you're looking to do.
Right.
Because it kind of just acclimates your body to it and gives your, kind of gives you an idea of what you're going to experience to a certain extent.
Right.
The other thing that we've been doing is the Soleil, and that's something that I wasn't really very knowledgeable on until I came up here and Justin kind of introduced it to me. So what is Soleil?
Soleil is a saltwater solution. We use Himalayan crystal salt, and all it is basically you fill a mason jar a third of the way with the salt, and then you put distilled water or spring water and leave it overnight. It's pretty simple.
You're not talking about table salt, right?
No, never use table salt.
All right.
Once the salt does not disintegrate any longer, your solution in the jar is the proper.
Yeah, the good rule is you fill a third of the jar up with salt and the rest is with water. Put a plastic. There can be any metal. You don't want any metal touching the water. It'll react with the salt.
Or
so
use a
plastic
metal
lid.
spoon.
Don't use any metal.
Right.
Plastic spoon, like a teaspoon that you'd use for measuring out ingredients. Anything like that would work.
And so what is the big deal with this? What are the benefits that you might see?
Trace minerals.
Trace minerals?
Yep.
Okay.
Electrolytes.
Right. And so maybe that's, how has that helped you as far as your pain, your joints?
I've been doing the Soleil for maybe 3 weeks now, usually in the morning. Occasionally I've done some in the evening as well. It seems to be helping, but it's so hard to pinpoint if that one change you've made is the actual contributor to less pain, or if it's what you've eaten. Now up here we've eaten way more clean or raw fruit type things, and then add that to the Soleil and maybe a little added exercise. Maybe that's my key. I mean, you really have to, it's hard to know, but when you know, when you wake up with less pain, you know something is different.
Yeah.
And I was in way worse shape coming up. I didn't know if it was attributed to the 9-hour drive to get here, why I had such a painful first day where my knees were swelled up and I couldn't walk. But now going into the second week here, I'm feeling pretty decent on the joints. A lot less pain. And if you've ever experienced pain, any deviance or lessness of pain, that's not even a word, you notice, because someone who has pain every day, it just wears on you. It's something that you're always aware of, and when you lessen that pain, you go, oh, what did I do that helped with that?
Yeah. And it's, it's always a holistic, you want to look at it holistically. So one thing alone likely isn't going to make the complete difference.
Right.
You want to make sure that you're getting, good, regular physical activity. You're eating a clean diet, you're getting fresh air, you're in the sun, all the things that go into, helping the body to function.
If we could only be on vacation every week.
We should be.
But would you say overall, the less you put into your body, the less pain you have?
I believe that, yes. That has been the hinge this vacation, that because I've started implementing some fasting, is that, I'm probably adding too many things into my body when it's fighting to get rid of this inflammation, and the simpler I go, the more results I see.
Yeah.
It's a tricky deal. I mean, I don't think it's something that I'm going to see be gone for years, because I have so much history of a poor diet, a poor elimination, and I have not the greatest of endurance, or I'm like, oh, one little chip won't hurt. And this week I did have 7 chips, but other than that,
Actual chips?
I had actual
you didn't tell us
salsa,
about
Knock
that.
those in.
salsa and chips when we went out in the social. When you go out to eat, it's really hard to pick, and I did indulge in a few salsa and chip, and I felt guilty about it after, but it's so hard to, when you don't have the support of the people that you're with, if they're not in the same frame of mind you are, it's easy to go, oh, a couple of those won't hurt. And other than those 7 chips with some salsa, I've been really clean and simple this week, so I've noticed a difference. It's definitely, the simpler I think, the better.
Yeah.
So now, do you think that this is going to be something you're going to keep doing outside of vacation here with the intermittent daily fasts?
I think so. It may not be 3 a week, but more than one, I would hope a couple a week.
Maybe once every 5 or 6 days.
Maybe 3 days on, 1 day off. Start with that, and then I'm also going to implement a daily exercise. Whether I get out and walk a few miles, or ride my bike, or even swim at the association pool. Just something that I'm moving a little intently on moving, not just getting up off the couch and walking out to the deck.
Yeah. And people that have been watching my videos have seen that I've been doing morning running for the last several weeks, and it's made a big difference for me. So I think that would be really something beneficial for you and anybody to do, especially first thing in the morning. It just makes your entire day so much better.
And with my condition, most people in the medical field will say that what I eat has nothing to do with my condition. And I have to say, that can't be farther from the truth. What you put in is the only thing your body has to work off of. And I've definitely believed that what you put in determines how you feel.
And how much.
And how much. And the more we learn about fasting, I think the more I will see how it really does affect my body. And it may not be that I have to fast as much in my future as I do now, just because I've got to rid my body of the toxins, of the buildup that's causing this inflammation. So it's not like something you would have to do intensely your whole life, but I think you will.
Oh yeah, we're good. Thanks.
I just think that it's a great way to let your body rest and heal. I mean, that's.
It does seem to be a hidden healer.
Yeah, it does.
Awesome. Well, I think we're about to run out of battery here, so I think we'll end it here, and then we'll make some follow-up videos later today or in the next couple days or two. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this was informational for you, and we will see you soon. All right. Bye.
Detoxify your mind and body. Be the change you want to see. Small steps towards living better. Small steps to where I want to be.